Hello again, good morning. Now we'll be talking about the case of the upper extremity prosthesis. My name is Jetronel Cedric A. De Leon. Let's start. This case is about Miss Francine, a 45-year-old woman, a war veteran, with her husband in a two-story house with no elevator. They have no children or pets. They live 3 hours away from their closest family members. She has a close group of friends that she goes out for lunch with and long walks frequently. Though she fears that with her amputation and mental health issue, her friends are beginning to avoid her more. They have a cleaning woman that cleans the entire house and does the laundry once a week. So she doesn't do anything at home. She is supported by the um, cleaning lady. So frustrated with current activities of daily living performance, anxious for upper extremity prosthesis, and not sleeping well. So which means it's a anxious. So she's having second thoughts on using a prosthesis for her upper limb. So frustrated with emotional and unsure of the future career status that she would get. So she's having post-traumatic stress due to her being a war veteran, and injury was sustained from an improvised explosive device or IED while deployed in Iraq, which completely tore her left forearm, which is not salvageable because of the severity of the injury. So traumatic brain injury from the explosion with possible PTSD is a probability for the patient. So our goal is to restore self-care skills, establish transfer skills, and regain social cognition skills. Also restore strength, sensitivity, reduce pain, and establish relaxation techniques. So primary diagnosis is left transradial disarticulation. So below the elbow, amputation. And secondary diagnosis is PTSD. So let's move. So what is the design prosthesis for the condition of Miss Francine by the rehabilitation team and why? So the given prosthesis is a body-powered transradial prosthesis. So why was this given? Because it is simpler and lighter, and she's also a woman, so we don't expect that she would want a heavy prosthesis. So they are also more affordable or therapeutic, functional, reliable than most bionic alternatives. In today's advancement, cosmetic options to be applied on the prosthesis is possible, but not to a greater extent, along with wide variety of tools to be placed as terminal devices. So she was a war veteran, so we could expect that she would like to be using such tools for recreational activity or hobby. So there's a variety of tools that she could use or to add cosmetic to the prosthesis device by using a latex hand around the terminal area. So you can change that. So you can change into anything that you'd like. It can either be functional for tinkering little things or tools itself, or for eating, there's a fork, and for cosmetic. So treatment and rehabilitation. So pre-prosthetic training would be stump care and shaping the transradial or below the elbow amputation. So taking care of the stump and shaping it to contour properly to the prosthesis is a important pre-prosthetic training or before fitting the cast on the residual right forearm. And also counseling about mental health and importance of the prosthesis, because as we know that the patient was a war veteran and undergoing PTSD, she is in need of a lot of counseling and being brought back to live life as it is and to live life to its happier days because she was a hero. And also training for adaptation in changes in activities of daily living. So this would be a big um, job for the physical therapist and the occupational therapist. So teaching the patient to love the self and to use the prosthesis to help herself take care of her family and herself. So we are going to bring her independence and trust in herself and to avoid thinking negatively that her friends is avoiding her. So let's move. So post prosthesis training. So progression in training with small objects along with regular exercise of the body along with the sound limb or healthy limb. So as you can see here, she is using a cable to strengthen her back muscles. So the cable is attached at the residual limb and on the hands. So exercise of the whole body and endurance is still important for the patient because as we know that the whole aside from her injury or amputation on the right residual limb or transradial amputation, she's okay. So there's no sign of impairments on any part of her body. And to teach her um, in using the prosthesis would be the number one goal of the physical therapist and the occupational therapist. And lastly, we're going to put the hanging out with friends or a support group for amputees. As you can see here, they're all amputees so that they could share their experiences and to uplift each other and to encourage one another to live their life and that their injuries will not hinder them in doing what they love or they desire. So that's all. Thank you.